What's the worst thing your parents caught you doing as a kid? When we were about 6 years old, me and a friend were having a contest seeing who could pee the furthest out the 3rd story window. Some nosy lady from across the street ratted us out to his parents. I still think I won, but we didn't get a chance to check who peed the furthest. Legend. I wrote bitch on my notebook in 1st grade with one of those giant training pencils. Forgot the T, of course. Bitch is Latin for generosity. It's easy. Catch. 2 memories come to mind. The first one was when I was 6 or so. I was a fairly curious child, and one day I took a giant poop. After I cleaned up, I decided to get a pair of gloves and dissect my poop to see what all was in it. My mom caught me and gave me hell about it all the way through adulthood. The second was when I had my first serious boyfriend over. I was 16 and my sister was 3 or 4. Being a little kid, she always wanted to come into my room. My curious little sister was the only reason I was allowed to close my bedroom door when he was over. My boyfriend and I decided to fool around and pushed my beanbag in front of the door to slow down any intruders. Well, I wind up on my knees with his dick in my mouth and lo and behold, here comes my mom opening the door. She couldn't get the door open all the way, but she saw enough. The next morning, when she was driving me to school, she said very awkwardly, "Honey, please don't put your beanbag in front of the door anymore." I thought that last line was going to be, "Honey, please don't put your boyfriend's dick in your mouth anymore." Apostrophe. Nah, she didn't mind that. She just wanted to be able to watch. Peeing into the air vents on the floor. Oh my god. I did this. To this day, I had no idea what led me there. I'm not alone anymore. Duck. I did too. Mom always reminds my wife. My mom got 5-year-old me one of those giant novelty suckers that came with a pretty sturdy wooden handle. I decided to test the strength of the stick by pushing it against my bedroom wall as hard as possible. Such a strong stick. Dad walked in just as I poked a 6-inch hole in the drywall. My little sister had fallen asleep with her sucker the day before and got the whole thing stuck in her hair. No more giant suckers. Mopping/painting the garage floor with oil and destroying a waterbed with steak knives. My brother and I were both under the age of 5 when these things happened. He's older than me by about a year and a half and made other horrendous messes before I could start participating in them, including opening all the Kool-Aid packets onto the kitchen floor and emptying an entire can of Crisco onto the bottom few steps in the house. He was bad. Our younger brother is 6 years younger than me and was way worse in the mess department. He threw all my bottles of nail polish all over my room and destroyed most of my stuff, so I wasn't allowed to have any more. He cut up most of our pictures from when we were kids. Remember when you could refill your own ink cartridges at home with a kit? He sprayed a whole pack of that stuff all over the living room, including the ceiling. Ruined the carpet completely. A few years ago I caught my daughters in the garage spraying themselves with WD-40 like it was Channel No. 5. To be fair, it doesn't smell bad. I actually preferred it to the real Channel No. 5 lol. When my sister was 3, she was caught hiding behind a trash can eating butter after we specifically told her not to. Specifically as in you mentioned she couldn't do it behind the trash can. No, we told her she can't just eat plain butter. So she hid behind a trash can so she wouldn't be caught. When I was about 6, I was watching an episode of Pokemon. I had to pee but didn't want to miss anything, so I peed in a trash can. Although that was super clever at the time, but as soon as my mom got home she could smell it, and 21 years later she still remembers. You at least used a trash can. My idiot self thought pads were diapers, and obviously I thought now I can go about my day. As pee descended on it and then obviously overflowed because the pad was soaked, and I ran towards the bathroom trying to make sure I don't make a mess. I made a mess. Running to the toilet while peeing. Did I mention I was? Sorry, I'm an idiot. And that, friends, is how I found out about periods and what the pads are actually used for. Lol, how old were you that you were actually excited about the prospect of a diaper? Not me, but they caught my 3-year-old sister eating chips in a small dark closet at 3 AM. Did I mention she was also naked? We've all been there. Yeah. certainly sounds familiar. Quietly puts on shirt. My best friend's mom caught us spanking each other's bare asses. That was fun. Edit. Grandma. What age though? Like 5 to 6. At age 5 I used my dad's shaver on my lips without shaving cream. Don't ask why. I did the same to my chin at around that age. Was supposed to be cleaning. Found my cousin's razor and figured I'd shave. Edited to fix. I did the same to my computer at around that age. Was supposed to be cleaning. Found my cousin's razor and figured I'd shave. Your computer? I bought a VHS video camera. Saved up money for so long to buy it from a dirty wee second-hand shop. I came home one day to find my mum had been and still was recording episodes of daytime TV shite over my hours and hours and hours of masturbatory action. No words spoken. Ever. You record herself jerking off? Just curious as to why. I did. A lot. This was the early 90s. I did lots of other cool things with my camera of course. But privately. Sheesh. I was out of control. Parents would always catch my little sister sucking on velcro straps on shoes. In the closet. Don't you hate when that happens? Told my mom I was going into the woods to build a fort. I went into the woods, but brought my Game Boy which I was grounded from and a supply of batteries. Played Pokemon out there for several hours next to a tree until my mom came out into the woods and found me. Big trouble for me. How old were you? That could have actually been smart if you had just came in after a couple hours. 45. Sending dirty emails to a stranger I met on Omegle. I was like 12. Pretending to be 16. I thought that was mature. I only got grounded for like 2 weeks. Oh yikes, I've been there. Never got caught, but definitely did some dumb shit. Not my parents, but my sister's friends. My mom was making me take a bath. When I was fully nude I ran for the door and left to the backyard and my sister's friends and my sister saw me and I waved at them. This isn't bad, unless you were a teenager or am something at the time. And then it's hilarious. He was 25. When I was 4 my parents were trying to potty train me and they made me go around the house naked from the waist down. So I had to use the toilet. I shit on the floor. Hid it under the couch when my parents walked in and blamed it on the cats. We didn't even have cats. So you made an imaginary point. Funny guy, eh? Trying to see if my penis was long enough that I could suck it. Not me, but my best friend growing up. We found some porno mags in a field behind his house that he took home. When he would take a shower, he would cut out images of the girls, stick them to the inside of the shower, and do the deed. Then flush the pic. Eventually he had a porno mag consisting of all men, with the women all cut out. Needless to say, his dad found them and thought he was gay for a few years before talking with him about it. OMG, thanks for the gold, kind stranger. This is hilarious. One time my mother walked in on my girlfriend and I having sex to tell me that my father cut his finger off and that they were going to hospital. There was a lot to unpack in that moment. You could fill a TV miniseries with this comment. TLC. I can't remember how old I was, but I was playing with an arrow, no tip on it, and I had the bright idea to walk up behind my dad while he was working on the mower and crack him in the back of his head with it. When I was about 5 probably, I decided to literally headbutt my dad. He was talking to a neighbor at the end of the driveway, so my dumbass self decided to take off at a run from by the garage door and ram my head right at his butt. I deserved that spanking, one of very few I had growing up. You would probably like the game Goat Simulator. Mixing toothpaste with water while I was bathing. I was a stupid kid. Less of a kid, more of a teen. But my dad walked in my room right after me and my GF got done doing the deed. I was standing, facing the door, cleaning myself up. His only word was wiener, while covering his eyes and shutting the door. A natural defense mechanism to keep out the wiener's influence. I'm female. When I was 4 my mom caught me trying to sit backwards on the toilet. When I was 37, She walked in my room and found me passed out mid-masturbation with porn playing. She turned off the porn. Thanks, mom. Every time when I'm almost passed out after doing it, I hear a giant, loud noise coming from nowhere. It alarms me to get up and clean myself in the most extreme fashion. At this point I'm convinced it is my brain who makes up the noise, because he knows he's going to be in trouble if he doesn't. That's actually called exploding head syndrome. I have a seriously distinct memory of this, despite being so young. So bear with me. I'd say I was around maybe 3 to 4 years old. Someone left a turd in the toilet and I remember thinking it looked distinctly pickle shaped. So in my young child mind I thought, hey, a pickle, and went to grab it out of the toilet. I realized it wasn't a pickle when it squished between my fingers and my mom saw the excrement on my hands. She never brought it up to me when I was older, however. Even at 3 to 4 years old. YTF did you think it was a good idea to pick something up out of the toilet? Also, and what color was the shit anyway? Wasn't a bright kid. TBH, and it was green, lol. I used to sleep on the toilet when I was 6 cause my mom forced me out of bed in the morning. Once she caught me and put a towel behind my head then took a picture. I used to get up to poop at night and fall asleep on the shitter. Mom would come in and wake me up. Found weird porn of lookalikes of my fav YouTubers at the time and emailed them to my best friend for laughs. My email was signed into the iPad my parents were using. Those probably weren't lookalikes. I took my dad's sports car, Jaguar XKR, on a joyride. When I got back to the house my dad was waiting in the front yard with boxing gloves. That's when you slow down, make eye contact and gun it past your house. Go big or go home. My mom found me making death traps in the woods with a knife my dad gave me after I left his house. I used to do something like that, but instead of death traps, it was spears. When I was 16, my mom told me to stop searching porn on her computer. I said okay and apologized. Then my dad, who overheard, came in after her and said thank you, that bastard. I don't know why, but as a kid I would put my hand in my pants because it felt warm in there, not for any other reason. It happened unintentionally sometimes. One morning I woke up to my parents looking at me concerned. I was confused until I looked down. As you can guess, my hand was in my pants, and I immediately took them out. My parents were crying laughing, but I was so embarrassed. That night my mom gave me the talk. I do that too when I'm going to sleep. Just instinctively. I've woken up panicked because my hand was in my pants for no reason. My dad came down while I was watching Baba Station when I was a kid. In my panic I changed the channel, but it landed on a gay version as he walked in. That makes me cringe so hard, but that's still so ducking funny. When I was probably 4 years old, one time, I pooped in the bushes, but went inside to get toilet paper afterward. But thought that I should wipe where I pooped. So I went outside to wipe, leaving the toilet paper with the poop. I'm 41 and my family still brings it up. When I was a teen I would push my parents' car out of the driveway and go have fun. I always killed it and coasted back in. Did this for quite a while. One night I was at a party and let my friend drive it back. We got pulled over and they impounded the car. My dad had no car to go to work in the morning. It did not go over well. My brother took my dad's car and did donuts in a parking lot. Hit one of the front wheels on those concrete space dividers, the like 4 feet tall ones. Totally ducked up the alignment, etc. Tried to claim it happened while he was pulling into the driveway. My dad did not believe him. One morning my dad caught me sitting on the kitchen counter drinking Hershey's syrup straight out of the can. You buy Hershey's in a can? Yep. Back in the day it came in a can. I used to pee in anything but the toilet. My mom caught me trying to pee into sinks, closets, trash cans, toys, air conditioning vents, a ficus, and my personal favorite off a 2nd story indoor balcony. I was also caught searching butthole and arsehole on the family computer when I was 6. But joke's on you mom, I searched all the bad words. Those are just the ones you found. Dude, Why the toilet avoidance? Not so much caught, but occurred in plain sight. I sleepwalked into a living room cocktail party and peed into a bowl of chips in front of a dozen adults. I had a drunk roommate would wake up and think the fridge was the bathroom and pee into it. Also the kitchen drawers. And one time he took his dog for a walk, but forgot her and just took the leash for a walk without the dog. That is awesome to hear of anyway. I heard the funniest story from my friend's mom. Apparently she always loved to get her mom's purse and empty the content and play with whatever was in there. Her interest was mostly her mom's lipstick and makeup. Like every other little girl, once when they had just come back from a family trip, she opens the purse and finds a condom. She has no idea what it is. She opens it and thinks it's a balloon and starts blowing it. Mom comes to the room, condom in her mouth trying to blow it, and she turns around and asks her mom why is the balloon so oily lol. It was obviously lubricated. Her mom snatches the condom off her hands and gets super angry, gives her a timeout and forbids her from ever touching her purse again. She said it was not until she was in her 20s that she remembered the memory and realized what that balloon was lol. Oh no mayo. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.